Hello everybody, welcome into the basement here at Clean Valley Farms. As you can tell, we've got the Serenade of the dog upstairs. He's not allowed to come down the stairs. I'll show you those in a minute. You'll figure out why. But he always gets real nervous when I'm down here, so I'm going to ask you to bear with me. I asked him to be quiet. What do you do, okay? So, this is on the Greening Up This Old House playlist. We bought our homestead pretty cheap, and as a result, there's a lot of renovations that need to be done. The basement is easily included in that. Let's take a quick look around. Starting with, we have this support pillar, I guess. I don't know, jack. Apparently these things are about 50 bucks at the co-op. Holding up part of the floor, because it's an older house, so we've got that floor sag and bounce. And here are the stairs. Clearly going to have to do something about these. That first flight's not so bad. The second flight is falling apart. So I'm going to get to learn about stair making. Here we've got the walls. You know, it's concrete's old. Got these, I believe somebody called them pony walls with the pallets here, which kind of suggests that there has been crumbling in the past. I'm not terribly surprised. Trains do go by rather frequently, and sometimes they're pretty loud and pretty heavy. So I'm going to want to do some reinforcing along the walls here eventually. But I think, oh, don't fuzzy out on me now, camera. I think I'm also going to want to do some insulation along these walls. There's our little electric furnace. I shouldn't call it little, 18 kilowatts. That thing pumps out the heat pretty well. Then back here it looks like maybe once upon a time there was like a grease furnace, or I don't know, but there are some cracks in there I'd like to see reinforced and such. Again, looking along the back, you know, pretty much all of the basement walls look like that. We've got this little tiny room here. This is where the electronics, the fuse panels and stuff are. And way in the back, don't know if you can see it, right about where the camera is our water meter. So that's lots of fun. But yeah, so there's lots of room for opportunity and renovation and repairs here, right? I don't think that little wall is structural, but I'll check before I do anything about removing it. Then there's this, you know, workbench or garden bench or whatever here. And we'll continue the 360. I'm going to open those one of these days when I can be outside for long periods of time, see if I can find out what grows well on this property. But, you know, so your basic little dungeon, right? As I mentioned, there is that sag we have in the floor. It's an old house, these things happen. So what Shocks and I have been thinking about doing is taking a couple of either those support jacks, which don't look all that great, but are clearly functional, and running them along here. So we've got just some extra support, probably about where I'm standing, and then on the other side of the furnace beam here, or the furnace pipe here by the light, another one here. Or what we've lately thought about doing is maybe making some support walls ourselves and turning them into a wine cellar, if you will. Which got my mind to thinking about, well, if I want to insulate these side walls a little better and I want to shore up the concrete, maybe some straw cob or straw cement might work, because they say the straw is an excellent insulator in those types of buildings. So why not, right? Got to do something to turn this space into a usable space, because I mean you can clearly see we're not using it now. But got my measuring tape so I can find out just how wide it is across here. And then I'm thinking 2 or maybe even 3 little support walls going this way. You know, one there, maybe one there, maybe one there. Still want room to get between them. But you know, maybe turning this into a wine cellar. Perhaps I'll use this little space over here for some mead making. But I think if I do end up making mead, that will end up being on the Clean Valley Kitchen, or JT Bear in the Kitchen, or Bear in the Kitchen, whatever name it lets me keep finally. It's a nice little space here. Shouldn't take up too much room. You know, primary and secondary can be here, and then I'll just rack them and put them along the rows there. So, it'd be interesting. So I'm pretty sure I've watched every YouTube video out there on mead making right now, but at the same time I know some of you guys, my viewers, have made mead in the past, because I remember seeing videos get posted about it, but I can't find them now that I'm looking for them. So if you have posted a mead making video, you have any experience in the field or whatnot, post a link down below. I'll rescue it from spam. I always do for the ones I ask for. And yeah, you know, I would appreciate any and all experience and advice and such that can be found in that area. If you have any thoughts on whether or not I should or should not turn this currently unused basement space into a reinforced wine cellar, I'd love to hear those thoughts too. So get back to me and I'll get back to you. Until then, this has been JT Bear. Thanks for joining me here on Clean Valley Farms with greening up this old house. Have yourselves a fantastic day, everybody.